The aim of a trailer is to advertise the film it is representing to entice people to watch the film. If a trailer does not do this, then it hasn't been worthwhile making the film itself, as not many people are likely to watch the film in the cinema. This is why trailers tend to use clips from the film that are the most exciting and enthralling, to make sure people will watch the film upon release. Trailers are advertised on all platforms including TV, social media, at cinemas and in magazines to try and attract as many people as possible to go and watch the film. The advertisements differ from platform to platform, as the companies producing these films have to pay lots of money to advertise on TV and usually after a while don't show the whole trailer, whereas the internet is a great way for them to advertise the whole trailer for free on platforms such as YouTube. Some trailers put emphasis on the directors and the actors' names to try and advertise the film in a better way, as a lot of people like watching well-known Hollywood actors such as Johnny Depp, Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon, or established directors such as Steven Spielberg and Michael Bay. A film that does this is The Big Short, which stars Ryan Gosling, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Christian Bale, Steve Carell, and Selena Gomez. This was done to make a variety of audience who like these individuals, actors, want to watch the film. There are two types of film trailer, both of which have different conventions. Teaser trailers are released around a year before the film is set to be released as a form of advertising so that people are talking about the film way in advance of the actual release. These trailers are released before all of the filming has been completed and they don't follow the three-act system, which is why these trailers don't really have any chronological order to them or tell the story very well. They are usually around a minute or so in length, as they only include a few of the best clips to showcase the audience what the film is about, so they have a small idea of the storyline. Official trailers are generally released a few months before the film is set to be released to show some of the best bits of the whole film, as this is when virtually all the filming has been completed. They are usually more intense than teaser trailers as they include more action, which is a way to market the film to draw lots of people. These trailers follow the three-act system, which will display to the audience the start of the film, parts in the middle and the end of the film, but won't give too much away. It will include enough shots to build lots of suspense for the audience and will tell them about the story so that they have a clearer idea of what is going to occur in the film. These trailers are a lot longer in length compared to teaser trailers, usually 2 to 3 minutes long, to show off most of the best aspects of the film. However, not all of the best parts will be shown, as this way people are left on edge, more excited for the film's release. A disclaimer is shown at the start of all films which displays what audience is suitable to watch the film, and it has to be done so that people who aren't suitable to watch the film are able to stop watching. After this, the title of the producers and distributors of the film are presented on screen at the start of the actual trailer. This is so that people know who produced and distributed the film so that they can take credit for their work. Some of the designs of these are adapted to match the theme of the film. An effective example of this is in Harry Potter, where the Warner Brothers logo was redesigned to match the theme of Harry Potter. The main title of the film in the trailer usually appears at the end of the trailer so that the audience are more likely to remember the name of the film, as it will have been the last thing they see. However, some trailers, including Poltergeist, display the name of the trailer on screen and then show another scene, usually a jump scare, to embed that fear upon the audience as the last thing they remember. After this, the release date of the film will be shown so that the audience know when to expect the full film to be released so they can go and watch it. This is common in a lot of horror films today, as it is a way in which the producers can frighten the audience one last time before the trailer is over, to reinforce how scary the full release will be. Other titles are used in most horror film trailers to strike fear upon the audience as well as to increase tension, so that they are sitting on the edge of their seat. This is seen effectively in the Woman in Black trailer, where the words "Fear Her Curse" are separated and displayed on screen, one after the other, to make the audience aware of how evil and terrifying the antagonist of the film is. They are presented in the same way the title of the film is, with the same sans serif font and style used for each one. These titles are used somewhat to create a narrative to the story, so that the audience can understand what the story is about. However, most of the time these titles are used to build suspense towards the end of the trailer, so that the climax of the trailer is as horrifying as possible for the audience watching. These titles will usually use the same background as the actual title background in the trailer, so that the house style is kept the same. This makes them look more professional and increase the effectiveness on the audience. In horror film trailers especially, titles can make or break a trailer because if they don't look striking and intimidating, the trailer may get mediocre reviews, resulting in poor reviews of the whole film in general and low box office revenue. There are two main transitions in horror film trailers, these being cuts and fades to black. In a lot of horror films, the pace of the editing gets faster as the trailer proceeds. This is because of the length of the shots which get shorter and shorter leading up to the climax, to create the most tension as possible for the audience. This is done through fast cuts which transition each scene to the next. It is a common transition in all films, but in the genre of horror, thriller and action, cuts are used effectively to create pace so that a fast-paced, suspenseful atmosphere is created. In the trailer Insidious, cuts are used effectively and give the film a tormenting feeling because of how fast-paced and demented the trailer becomes due to these cuts being used. A fade to black is a type of transition that is indicative of a horror film trailer because of the connotations with darkness. This transition is used in all film trailers to pass the time usually as ellipses. However, in a horror film trailer, a fade to black is used to connect scenes together in a way that creates suspense. This is because sometimes a fade to black is used and then a jump scare is implemented into the trailer just after, which the audience wouldn't have expected, making the trailer that bit more frightening. Due to a fade to blacks being associated with darkness, it is an effective way of scaring the audience, as darkness and the unknown are two things that scare people heavily. This transition is used effectively in the Sinister trailer, as towards the end of the trailer, there are a series of fades to black that are in conjunction with the beat of the sound on top of the footage. This part of the trailer is gripping and incredibly frightening for those watching. There are many camera shots in film trailers which include the following: establishing shot, long shot, mid shot, close-up, POV shot, over-the-shoulder shot, high/low angle shot, tracking shot, and the focus pull. Establishing shot. This is the first shot in a trailer designed to let the audience know where the action is taking place. It is usually a wide or extreme wide shot. This shot is key to all horror film trailers as the mise-en-scène has to match the horror genre so that the audience are clear on what the genre of the film is. An effective example of this is in the Woman in Black trailer, where there is a steam train in the sunset with creepy music playing, which makes it clear that the film is a horror film set back in history. Long shot. A view of a scene that is a shot from a considerable distance so that the characters' faces in the shot aren't easily recognised. Long shots in horror film trailers are usually used to show the antagonist at a distance, to make the audience aware of that character and their threat even from a distance that is far away. Two examples of this are in the Woman in Black trailer and the Sinister trailer. The first is a two-shot of Daniel Radcliffe and the Woman in Black, but the Woman in Black is in the background of the shot, which shows her in a long shot. Her face isn't shown here, which keeps the audience guessing with her appearance up close. The second is a shot where the antagonist of Sinister, Bughuul, is in the foliage in the garden, in a long shot, which in the trailer is presented as a jump scare. This shot is effective as Bughuul can be seen by the audience watching, but his whole appearance isn't fully clear. The shot also demonstrates that his threat is ever present even at a distance. Mid-shot. A camera angle shot from a medium distance, usually displaying a character from the waist up. Mid-shots aren't used in a crucial way in horror film trailers, as they don't have the aspect of fear of the unknown like a long shot, or show facial expressions like close-ups. They are used mainly to tell the story at the start so that the audience gets a clear view of the clothing of the characters and the mise-en-scène in the trailer. An example of a mid-shot used is in Poltergeist to display Madison on screen, to show the audience her mutated face because of her abduction by the spirits in the house. Close-up. A detailed view of a person or object, usually without much context provided. A close-up usually only displays the character on screen from the chest up, to show the audience what the character looks like and their facial expressions. This shot can be key in a lot of horror films because it can tell the audience what the character is experiencing emotionally without any words being said. An exceptional example of this is in Poltergeist towards the end of the trailer when a drill comes through a wall, almost going through one of the character's faces, presenting on his face to the audience his sheer terror at the events happening. Point of view shot. Any shot which is taken from the vantage point of a character in the film. A point of view shot is a shot of what a character in the trailer is seeing with their own eyes. It lets the audience know what they are looking at, which in horror films can tell the audience where the danger is. They are used in horror films fairly regularly, sometimes in scenes where a character is moving through a cramped space or when a sniper is lining up their shot. They are used to build suspense as these scenes are usually important and key to the storyline of a film. An example of a point of view shot is in the film 28 Weeks Later, where there is an outbreak of the infected and the snipers are ordered to kill anything that moves. Over the shoulder shot. A medium shot useful in dialogue scenes in which one actor is photographed head-on from over the shoulder of another actor. This shot is effective in horror films when the shot shows the antagonist in the background of the shot, where they would likely be out of focus. The shot is used in all types of films with dialogue scenes mainly and is usually involved in a shot reverse shot, where the characters will be talking to each other and the camera will show each person talking. An example of an over-the-shoulder shot in a horror film is in the Insidious trailer, where the family's son is in hospital seen over the shoulder of his dad. High-angle shot. A shot in which the subject is photographed from above. A high-angle shot can set up a dichotomy between characters, as it can tell the audience who is of more importance in the trailer. If there are two people in a scene and the scene focuses on one character using the high-angle shot, this tells the audience that this character is vulnerable and weak. It can also imply isolation or a character being lost, as if a high-angle shot is used, it usually shows the character either alone in a vast area or frantically looking around because they may be lost. Low-angle shot. A shot in which the subject is photographed from below. A low-angle shot can assert a character's dominance within the film, because the camera is looking up at them, displaying their power and importance. This tells the audience what characters are important and will play a big part in the story. If music is used when a high-angle shot is shown, this can also tell the audience what type of character is being displayed. This is because when creepy, eerie music is being played, this implies to the audience that the character is probably the antagonist of the film. Whereas if prominent heroic music is played, that suggests that the character is the protagonist of the film and is there to try and prevent evil from being victorious. An example of this comes in The Dark Knight, where the camera shot is of the Joker demonstrating his power and evil ability. Tracking shot. A shot taken from a moving vehicle. Originally, tracks were laid in the set to permit a smoother movement of the camera. Today, a smooth handheld travelling shot is considered a variation of the dolly shot. A tracking shot helps the audience to follow the action from either behind or in front of the characters. It gives a sense of speed because of how fast the camera is moving, which can create tension to rise. This is because if the camera is moving fast, a car chase could be occurring, or someone could be getting chased, which builds suspense in a film. A tracking shot can also show the audience the setting the film is in, which can help give context to the storyline. An example of this is in The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, where a variety of tracking shots are used to show a number of scenes where a chariot is being chased by the orcs who are getting killed by the chariot and the dwarves in it. Focus pull. A creative camera technique in which you change focus during a shot. Usually this means adjusting the focus from one subject to another. A focus pull literally pulls the attention of the audience from one thing to another quickly, so that the audience can see an important part of the film. It's done to highlight the importance of a part of the film, so that it will be remembered later on in the film by the audience so they understand what has happened. Sometimes focus pulls are used to show the realization that character has, or in horror films to display the appearance of a character, usually the antagonist, in the background of a shot to frighten the audience. I filmed a focus pull for the skills development task, which can be seen now. In horror films, lighting has an impact on a number of things, these being the tension and suspense that builds within the film, and the audience's reaction to jump scares and psychological torment during the film. If the lighting is bright, it won't cause much suspense to build, as the scene won't feel eerie or frightening, whereas if the lighting is dark, which is symbolic of all horror films, as darkness and the unknown are what a lot of people fear, the audience won't be able to suspect what is about to happen, meaning a better, more intense reaction. Sinister is a prime example of this, as the film is shot with mostly dark lighting to create the long-lasting, petrifying effect it wants to achieve. It causes the audience to be unaware of what is going to happen next, meaning the antagonist of the film, Bughuul, scares the audience easily and effectively.